pre-workout either work?
So I used to be a ghost favorite, but now
Too long.
White monster for sure.
Hey, yo, what it do? It's your boy Q, and welcome back for some more PIEA action powered by the Esports company. And it's Wednesday, so that means we Valorant over here at the PIEA, and get excited because it's playoff time, baby. It's best of threes instead of best of ones. We got two of them on the day, and it wouldn't be nearly as fun if I was hanging in on the action all by myself. I've got the homie Anton with me. Anton, how you feeling today, big dog?
I am super excited, especially getting to see the matchup that we have right below us right now. Yep. This is, if I'm correct, this is the best game that we could be possibly starting on in this playoff series. I'm mega excited, Q.
Yeah, I feel like when you look at the matchups, especially at the D1 level, this has to be it. Garnet Valley, technically the #1 seed in the Colonial Conference, but Central Buck South did win the fall brawl. I mean, the Colonial Conference was stacked. Your top 4 teams, all within a round differential, close to essentially 16 of one another, which I know sounds like a big number, but over 6 weeks of regular season action, that's not too much. But you'll see that bracket on your screen here now. We'll be sitting in on Garnet Valley versus CB South, as we talked about. We were originally going to be watching Lower Moreland versus Wyoming Valley on our second matchup of the day. That one did get rescheduled, so we do have a different matchup for you. But the winner of this matchup will be waiting the winner of that other matchup, and will be taking place at DeSales University here in just a short 2.5 weeks from now.
Yeah, I can't even speak to how insane these games are going to be going on right now. We do have our map 1 for you guys right here, and it's going to be on a Haven. We're going to get Bucks on the defense first off, and so for you guys in the audience, we actually have a view of the agent select real quick, and there was a hover for a second by Wyvern on that veto, but apparently they are opting off of that. I'm a little bit surprised. I think we've seen veto around a little bit in terms of the professional scene, but I have still been yet to cast him in like tier 3, in collegiate, in scholastic. I'm not entirely sure why these teams are a bit less willing to bring this new agent out, but I mean, I don't know. They're the ones on the server. I respect their decisions. They're going to go with the cipher, which is tried and true. So I respect that as well. But
it's because gamers don't like
it's
change.
Not really too many surprises. This is true.
It's because gamers are very resistant to changes, and especially when you do talk about the levels scholastic, collegiate, T2, even T3. Really, they kind of start to mimic based off of that higher level. So yeah, we've seen veto, I think, like once or twice at the highest of levels, but until we really do start seeing it a lot more, I have a feeling that we aren't going to really be seeing it much elsewhere. And especially when you think at PIEA, we have tended to see, is that the right way? Anyway, we tend to see that there's quite more often players going with comfort picks over that meta pick. So I think with it being a newer agent, probably going to have to wait till at least the spring, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it nonetheless. Well, we'll see how long it takes, but nevertheless, we're going to get into this matchup right off the start of A site. There's a dart going along just as well. I mean, yeah, they're getting pinged. Hello there, Nikto. You're getting spotted behind the walls. A couple dinks through it, but everyone stays alive for now until that shock dart. Really nice from Wagyu. Knows how to capitalize on his own damage, but responded in kind by Beast.
I like this here by Beast, is able to push through short, take one down, and you see the pivot as far as from the rest of the squad. 3 players grouped on up. The only problem is there are 3 players on the defense that are sitting there waiting, and also Drago will get that one last player left back at A long. It's a pretty clean first round here for Central Buck South. Let's see if they can continue carrying off to the hot start.
Yeah, only losing their own. I mean, that was almost flawless. Literally, Wagyu started it off with the recon dart, of course, pinging a couple of people, and from Garnet Valley, it reacted a little bit slow. And I guess it's a warm-up game, right? It's the first match on. We understand that, so taking a bit of time and realizing they're still getting wall hacked behind the box. They might only be ghosts on the other end, but can still pack a punch through that. So not going to see another A push again. Central Bucks have a very strong 3-person defense over towards there. And in fact, they're running their sentinel over towards that C site and leaving B completely vacant. They're just letting Garnet Valley walk up wherever they would like, and confident enough that they can take them on a gunfights. Because I mean, look at the weapons they have. They definitely have the better arsenal going on the second round.
Del Slay gonna be able to find the first. It's already looking to peek around the corner. Gonna find one as Lana Del Slay finds their second. Right now, Garnet Valley really struggling to find any sort of entry. Potato Stalker finds one. Wyverns will be the last one left alive, but it's just the classic in hand for now. Was able to pick up the Outlaw here, but unfortunately does not have the spike and has the camera in hand, which all it does is basically lets you know that the end is near. And just like that, another relatively clean round from Central Buck South.
Yeah, once again, only one going down. This time it's, if I'm correct, it's Nicto onto Lana Del Slay out in mid. Nice shot from the Sheriff, but that's pretty much all they're going to have to say for the first 2 rounds even. So that's a pretty strong bonus coming onto the third. Central Bucks not having to rebuy very much. Going to have a lot of regen shields around the board. And of course, Potato Stalker is going to be the one that actually picks up the Outlaw from the hands of, if I'm correct, again, Lana had that in the previous round, but dropped it mid. So this time it's the breach over towards C. Not going to be looking at too much as we see Garnet Valley going for a similar kind of scenario as the last round where they're walking up mid. No one on the extremities, which is an interesting decision, but we'll see. They're going to be able to get onto this B site fairly quickly because Central Bucks is once again letting them on. Probably playing for a retake, something along the lines of with these closer range guns, but Nicto having the best of Lana does take out one of those weapons, but Potato Stalker just strike back before the spike gets planted.
He's here leaking, is here lurking in a link. Will step through, does also have the teammate with them here is them and Drago. It will be RD who finds the first, and they'll look to push right through the door. They do have 2 players from the side of Garnet Valley right on the other side. And in this wall on that backside, and that back B, and Ethan got you will be the last one left alive in a 1v3. Already going for the disarm. Artie steps back up. Ethan got you. Ethan got 4 of them things as Garnet Valley secure their first round.
And that one got a bit dicey. I'm gonna admit, Central Bucks having a good idea. Like, it's only 3rd round, right? So they're already getting a sense of what Garnet Valley have been doing as, in that anti-eco, and then now in the bonus, they walked up A. The Sova gets a kill on the flank, but then drops back. I mean, I respect that, right? You get Garnet Valley to worry about their flanks, and then you can push on from the actual site a bit harder so that they have to worry about maybe something that might not actually exist on their backs. But it all just ended up not mattering when Ethan just gets 3 kills on the spike carry. I don't entirely understand how that happened, but whatever the case, massive hero play from the Yoru on Garnet Valley.
Gotta be feeling good after that one. The question is, can you carry that momentum over here for the Jaguars? Fight back after falling back just a little bit here and see if you can kind of push back with that econ difference that Central Buck South was able to build up over the course of the first 2 rounds. It will be a slow approach here towards A as Drago will look to turn the corner. Nicto will be able to find that first headshot. Will be traded out by Wagyu, and doesn't look like it's slowing this push down one bit.
And it is taking some time for them to get up here, but yeah, I mean, like you said, it doesn't slow it down at all. They just walk right on through, just face check the open A main. I'm surprised they actually have the confidence to do that, but Artie is going to take out one on short just to punish, and Beast is one of the ones that goes down. And then once again, Lana is walking up through mid. That's a nice little headshot to first off, but it's a dink through a wall, which means this Yoru is not going to go down just yet. Walking back into the cubby, they have a bit more time, a bit more leeway to get out, but it looks like they're committing to this position in Garnet Valley. They have to make something happen. There's 30 seconds remaining.
They've been able to get themselves access onto C here, and the spike is going to go down. The only problem is they are going to have to hold off on the retake against this push that has more players than you've got holding them off. Astro does quickly look towards the garage. Lana Del Slay won't be pointed out, at least not quite yet, but will be looking to turn the corner. The paranoia has hit Astro, but Astro still going to be able to find Lana Del Slay. Potato Stalker will eventually trade them out as a 2v2. Ethan got you as one of the players who was able to come up huge in round number 3, and now they're looking to do the same in round 4.
I don't know how this has happened, but such a big advantage for Central Bucks, completely thrown away until, well, on a second Stalker. Potato's not entirely aware, but finally he gets the info. Doesn't end up mattering, runs out of bullets. And it's again, Ethan this time with a teammate, mind you. This time they're able to save it. It's Ethan and a Wyvern in the 2-on-4, able to clutch that up.
That's one of those that really stings a bit if you are on the side of CB South. It feels like that one really slipped through your fingers, and because of that, they are going to come in around at number 5 with that Shiko buy. 4 Sheriffs, a single classic, and you got a couple of half shields. I mean, you're feeling okay about things, but the way that these rounds have gone, once the rifles have come onto the table. You would really like to have the better guns, but you know what? Maybe the sheriffs is all they need.
That cannot happen. That can't happen from the side of Garnet Valley. And what? How he must have been on cam. That's the only explanation. That's 4 sheriffs now with a rifle upgraded. By the way, Potatoes walked on into the window. He's gonna lose that right away, but even still, 2 on 4 rifle picked up again. Already's got it in his hands now. And there's everyone inside mid just watching over these weapons, making sure that the entire team has control of the situation. And Drago with that peek. What in the world? What is that? That's an unreal round from Central Bucks.
Talk about a huge thrifty to be able to bring yourself back into things and put yourself back in the lead as well. Surely if there was any sort of demotivating feelings over on that Central Bucks side of the server, the big clutch there has to have them right back and locked in.
Well, I mean, there's been no real explanations for the last couple rounds, I'm gonna admit. For both sides, for Garnet Valley and that clutch, for Central Bucks with that Sheriff, Eco, and there's a bunch of classics now. I don't think Garnet Valley is gonna be able to pull the same thing off. Well, they're walking 5-man to C right now. There's not really a sentinel to watch their behinds. There's no trips. The Cypher might be there, but there's nothing actually on their backs. Machine gun at the front, which means it's really not going to be too well either end of things. Wagyu's already done the walk up that he did in the second round, if I'm correct. Didn't end up working out that time, but I have a feeling this might end up being a bit better for Central Bucks than round number 2.
Seems to be, but you know what? We've seen rounds exactly like this. A 2v4 turn around for Garnet Valley. Lana Del Slay, however, will be able to take down Wyvern, which means Astro will be the last one left alive. 9 HP in a dream. Shoots the Sheriff, also shoots the Deputy, but now in a 1v3 with 9 HP left. It just doesn't feel like it's going to happen. Already turns the corner, and it's another round on the board for Central Bucks South.
This time completely locked in. Not going to be falling back on the flank, not anymore. So Garnet Valley, I mean, they had a couple rounds that were pretty decent there. Clutch up on B and C site respectively, but Central Bucks kind of waking up and realizing that they're kind of the ones in control of the situation, which I think they have been, even in the rounds they've lost, right? They've been very much in control. They've had the advantage, and there's just been a couple hero plays from Ethan and then Ethan and Wyvern, respectively. But if Central Bucks kind of wake up and realize that they're the ones that dictate what goes on in this game and just kind of lock in, they should be able to show up in a lot more of these rounds. They're letting them get into B site once again, and that's a good flash. Doesn't get a kill off of it though. If they back off, there's a massive chance for them in the future of this round. But Garnet Valley is the one to strike first and second, already with a response, but also traded in kind. And it's a heck of a war in B right now, and it doesn't end up slowing down until it's a 1v1.
Drago, Nikto, last players left on either side, and I have a little bit of mixed HP for the two. Maybe Drago's sitting full. Drago does have that ult available if you want to use it. I don't know if I'd choose to consume an overdrive in this situation. I mean, it feels like you should be feeling relatively comfortable. Of course, I say that as Nikto turns the corner, finds the heady, and puts Garnet Valley back within 1.
Well, I mean, it's just a brawl, I guess. They just decide to walk on a B and fight to the death until it is at spike down. I don't know how fast they realized that. I don't even know if Nikto realized that the spike was there, or Drago, in fact, because it was in the corner, kind of tucked into Cubby. So unless someone like purposefully called that the spike was there, I don't even know if that existed. But nevertheless, yeah, it didn't end up slowing down until they reached the last player alive in both teams, and they're like, hold on a second, this actually matters now. And speaking of mattering, already realizing that it might be one man to make the difference, ends up taking one man out of Garnet Valley's side right off the bat. And he's still watching that kind of, but this time gets responded in kind by Nikto, walking up mid, and it's fast up here. He needs to get out of his smokes, but it's not in time. He does have the ultimate, not dead yet, and he's gonna resurrect right in the corner, but still doesn't manage to get the shot. It's Potato Stalker to completely lock down that middle.
Has found 4. Drago will find the last, and this has been a back and forth affair, but right now Central Bucks South continue to prove that they are the ones firmly in control. They didn't have to use any of their 5 ults to secure that 5th round on the board. And again, knowing that going into this 9th round, 5 ults are available for this Titan squad makes you feel that at least a share of the lead at half should be all but assured.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary right now for Garnet Valley, I'm not gonna lie. Like, ever since the first couple rounds, like, it's shown that Central Bucks have the capability of playing slow if they want to. So Garnet Valley are just kind of meeting them at the front lines, and like, they're like, if you can play slow, maybe we'll counter that by playing fast so you don't have the time to react. And in this round, it's worked, at least to start out. There's still plenty of the round left. There's a minute 20, but at least they do have the entry kill, and the rest of their players are looking straight at this A site right now.
And make a play. Oh, hold on. There'll be the rolling thunder that at least brings this push to a screeching halt. And I like that decision there, as it causes a little bit of hesitation. However, B steps right on through the smoke with no hesitation, finds themselves one. However, it does not matter. Central Buck South just continue clicking heads. It's Artie who leads the way in that last round, as it's going to be 6-3.
Yeah, this one's looking rough. That's only 1 ult out of 5 used by Central Bucks, and Potato Stalker is definitely on his way to charge up that thing again. But yeah, Garnet Valley, it's only round number 10, right? And it already kind of feels like they're kind of running out of steam. And I don't mean that in terms of like stamina. I mean that in terms of like the things they're doing on the map. Like, they haven't really been playing Haven like it's Haven. Like, they're doing a lot of just like 5-man pushes, and this time they're doing a 4-man towards C long. Yoru is gonna solo ult for some info through Garage, and he's gonna find nothing, but he also kind of doesn't have an escape route. He hasn't put down a teleport or anything like that, and he's just face checking this Omen inside a Garage, and he's gonna die to Artie. And another just straight up blind walk-in through C site, and there's a trade 1-for-1, but they've already lost their Yoru with the ultimate inside Garage. It's not looking too good.
Yeah, it's not right now. And then when you add in the Hunter's Fury, that's going to really make things uncomfortable on the site. Pushes people away, as Potato Stalker and Artie picking up 1 to their name as well. And they just continue to cruise. It's been 5 of the last 6 here now for the Titans, and there is no sign of slowing down.
Yeah, this is super early in the broadcast, right? But I already don't even know what to say for Garnet Valley side. They're forcing again, so they haven't had a full buy in quite a few rounds, and once again they're going for a kind of a mixed buy. Just Ethan's making sure he's got money for the next round, but the rest of his team is just completely full investing. Nicto's got 150 in the bank with only a Guardian in the hands of the top frag right now for Garnet Valley, and they're still walking up. I mean, I respect it. Walk up against an off, make sure he doesn't have time to rechamber, but he's got a friend with him. Wagyu is going to be there to cover him, so it doesn't end up mattering. Drago is just going to be able to retreat back onto the site and retake an angle up into the corner, but Potato is going to take his prey before that op even shines a second time. Garnet Valley 2 down already. Wyvern trying to walk up mid, but spotted by Artie as well. This is not looking great.
Spread out here too, which is going to make the rest of this round that much more difficult. We do see that Wyvern's going to be able to get that spike down. Does feel like a little bit of overkill with the lockdown here. Of course, it's easy for us to say that because we do know that it's just the Cypher on site. However, you can understand the thinking, right? You make sure that you can give yourself access to the site. You push on. Lana Del Slay will be able to take Wyvern down here as well. And because of the fact that those other 2 players are so far away, should just simply be able to hold. And just like that, they'll be up to 8.
Oh, yep. Nothing Nicto can do coming in from so far like that. I'm gonna be honest, this is a little bit weird. Like, just looking at the map movements of Garnet Valley in that round, like Cypher is booking it, like literally knife out, running to C, and getting the plant down, while the rest of the team is like what, in A short and then mid. I'm not entirely sure, but they were far enough away for them to have absolutely no impact on whether that plant actually went off or not, which in some instances it's like, okay, they have like massive flank positions, but in that case they're like, it didn't even look like they were aware the plant was going down. I don't really know what's going on with Garnet Valley right now, but I mean, like, they've won the rounds that they have based on individual ability. So I mean, it's not like this is completely done and dusted. Like, there's definitely something that can happen here, especially if Drago keeps missing shots. It's not like the op has done very much in terms of the first few seconds of every round. And there's some more success from Garnet Valley across the map as they get a couple individual kills. Nicto is really trying to put them across some kind of finish line here in the final round of the half. It's a really weird position that he's got right now, and he's going to spot out the final player with that death as well. So a 1 versus 2 from Artie for the final round of the first half.
Some time, and with the fact that both Garnet Valley players are separated here, there might be a chance. Hold on, if you can turn the corner, you might be able to turn this into a 1v1. Artie is going to be able to do just that. Ethan will eventually get this plant down. However, the question becomes, with the timer started, do you have the ice in the veins? You were able to pick the right site. You'll slowly walk down C-long here. You know where the spike is planted. The question becomes, how comfortable are you pushing on a site, and can you clear your spots? Ethan is right there by the garage, and Artie, quick-witted, quicker to the draw, and sick-witted as well, going to be able to secure a 9th round for CB South.
That's putting the DJ on in the final round of the first half. I mean, that is a tough one. Ethan was one of the ones that were the individual players in the first half, right? Because they were one of the only rounds that they won. I guess 2 technically. Round 3, number 4. Ethan was a participant in those massive clutches, but this time in the 1v1 when it all matters, not able to perform when called upon. Unfortunately, it's already top frag for the other team, for Central Bucks. I mean, this is just a heck of a performance from not only Artie, but also Potato on the breach, namely, both of them at 15 frags apiece. This is a very good showing so far on the what was the defensive side, now going onto the attack where it should be the advantage. Like that's just how Haven works, right? There's 3 sites. You're going to be spread a little bit thinner on your defense. So now that Central Bucks are here, I mean, I shudder to think about what could happen for Garnet, but at least Beast does have a great start for the pistol.
Find yourself a first is a very important round here for Garnet Valley if you're wanting to start the comeback. Every run does start with 1. You're down by 6, and maybe if you believe in curses, you feel all right about the score currently, but I think what is more important than that is making sure you secure the pistol, because if you drop it, 9 could very quickly turn to 11, which would then in turn put the Titans just 2 rounds away. It's a risky push to be able to just push out there with your bow in hand, not like, what? Well, all right then.
Oh no, that's yeah. Morale kind of broken. It's just the spirits are shattered. I don't know what to say anymore. Garnet Valley, the whole team, it really has felt like they just didn't show up. Like they weren't here in the first place. Maybe a couple players, but in a 1v2, oh, Wyvern, it doesn't even, I guess maybe has his headphones on the wrong direction, but definitely not getting shot at from the right side. Doesn't have any idea where the bullets are coming from. The cage is to maybe let him cross the window, but there's a gap, so I don't even think that mattered. Lana is going to be the first to engage. They're just playing the game where they're waiting in spawn until the last player dies, and now it's up to Potato Stalker. 18 frags, gotten 3 in this round alone, by the way, up to 4, perhaps, if he can find this final frag. But Wyvern, he's just getting toyed with, and he gets that kill, but I don't think he's got enough time for this defuse. He's not even going to try for it. 10 rounds for Central Bucks.
That is tough. And another, you know, you had mentioned earlier about the morale after the, I don't know what happened just outside of A, if we're being perfectly honest, even still looking back. But then you pull off the miracle. You're able to put everyone down, just not with enough time to secure it. That's gotta be so heartbreaking. Now you're behind in the economy. You're forced to buy up here as well. And now, granted, we're saying forced to buy up. We've kind of been seeing Garnet Valley buying up a lot even in the first half. I feel like they probably would have either way, but it still just adds to the pressure you're feeling going into round 14.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? That's the beauty about 9-3 rather than 10-2. That's why there's the 9-3 curse. Like, there you have some leeway. So normally you wouldn't be doing this buy, but I mean, it did work to open it up. I mean, okay, now it stopped working fairly fast. Potato Stalker's been putting up the numbers, and he is continuing to do so. I think he's at 20 now. Yeah, he is. 4 versus 2. Again, there is a buy, but they're only stingers right now, and Lana has the rifle, mind you. There are 3 Guardians and a Vandal in the hands of Central Bucks for that anti-eco. So I don't know how they read the minds of Garnet Valley, knew they were going for like a light buy, but whatever the case, they absolutely slammed him back into the ground.
And because of where they're at, you don't really afford yourself the ability to do those half buys or even to save at this point, right? You kind of have to force every round because if you save, you're essentially giving one away and you're saying, hey, we're going to allow you guys to get onto match or map point because it is best of threes instead of best of ones. Do keep that in mind. There's a chance for Garnet Valley to turn things around, but as far as for Haven, it does feel like things are just about done and dusted. I'm not saying that one lady singing in the back, but it sure seems like she's warming up.
Oh yeah, that's I don't know what you're gonna do about that one. That's tough. Drago is the only one without a rifle in this round. Everyone else has some kind of long range weapon, and the Bucky is the one to get a double entry onto C site, and it might be the thing to even close the round as well, because these two guys are coming in from the garage, and Drago's got a very nice position to be able to just watch that flash going through. And Wyvern is actually going to take out Potato, end the reign of terror for now, but there goes the Bucky, and he's almost out of ammo. Doesn't matter, gets the shell in just in time for a quad kill to take Central Bucks up the map points.
Not sure what resolution y'all were watching that one in, chat, but that sure indeed looked like a 4K to me. A whole bunch of shotty to the body to pull it off as well. Drago going absolutely crazy to pull off that round. And I think the thing that stands out to me the most is it's not like they're relying on just one player. Like, yeah, Potato Stalker has the 20-piece nugget, but you look behind him, Artie with 16, Drago with 15, even Wagyu with 12. I mean, it's not like you just sit and have to worry about just one player. Anyone can pop off at any time for the Titans.
Yeah, this is exactly what you would want on a team like this, right? Central Bucks, just like you mentioned, everyone firing in all cylinders, and they're kind of taking a note out of the books of Garnet Valley right now, just sending all 5 players towards this A site. It's going to be a short, long split. There's only 2 people here, and make that one, because Lana just takes out Beast right off the round, right off the rip. There goes the Rolling Thunder through the entire site as well, and Wagyu with that second kill. I don't know how much this Cypher is going to be able to do inside the smoke. He's got a judge, but the jump out is going to be shut down by 2 different members, and the last one alive is just sneaking around the back, smoked off by their own self. On a 1v5 with the Phantom, if there's any player that you would like, it might be this one right here, but gonna be good for only just one as the rest of the team takes him down together, hand in hand. Central Bucks over the finish line, 13-3.
I think what people would consider a surprise based off of rankings, right, is the 1 versus the 4 seed. But I think more surprising is the fashion in which Central Bucks South were able to come in here and completely dominate. I mean, look at the ACS when your whole roster is above the 2nd highest player from the other squad. I mean, that's really telling of how that last match went.
Yeah, that one's tough. I'm going to be completely honest with this one. I think anyone watching the game can come to the same conclusion. Like, we don't want to sugarcoat things, right? We're not trying to make our audience seem like idiots. I don't know what Garnet Valley were like coming. I don't know what the idea was in that map, because like it's Haven, right? You've got 3 sites. You've got these agents with you. They're bringing Arena, which makes sense based on like their individual ability. You're like, okay, maybe they think they can out aim the other team. Like you said, they are number 1 for a reason, but that just didn't end up happening. And then when that kind of like, I guess, plan A fell apart, they didn't really have anything to fall back on. They didn't like poke and prod they didn't like send people towards A and then like rotate towards C, or like maybe they walked up mid a couple times, but that was the plan. The plan was walk up mid, and if it doesn't work, like, there's nothing. That's what really confused me about this map number 1. Yeah. Maybe it was just the map. I think that's what Garnet Valley are gonna have to hope for, because like 13-3 is a heck of a scoreline, and you can't really explain something like that with these 2 teams that are this evenly matched without pointing to the map and being like they just weren't ready for this one.
Yeah, the only thing that I can think of, this Garnet Valley squad, I believe, returned most of their players from last year, and this was a team that went pretty deep into states last year. They were one of our 8 elite teams that were moved up from the fall to the spring. I believe we're looking to do the same thing this year as well with our conference champions. Only thing I can think of is they are used to kind of being able to control the pace of the server, and they just couldn't. And for teams who are used to controlling the server, when things start falling apart, it does sometimes tend to be like quicksand, right? The harder you struggle, the deeper you sink. So they're going to have to try and find a way to really lock in between maps here. And you mentioned, I don't think there's really a way to sugarcoat what just happened there. I think we all can kind of tell exactly what happened. There's not too much to talk about. So how about this? how about we take ourselves a quick little break, grab ourselves a snack and a little bit of drink of water. And on the other side, we will be back with map number 2. We're going off the bind. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back after a quick break.